Goal number one, find an alligator or a crocodile. I don't really know how to tell the difference between the two. Someone once told me that it's the snout, it's the teeth, but the quickest way that I can tell is that an alligator will see you later, and a crocodile will see you in a while. I don't think I'm making it to the tower, unfortunately. Does it really matter though? So we're turning around, but real quick, check this out. Cool part about being the only guy out here trying to go into the park at this time, I got it all to myself. I didn't make it to the observation tower, but we're gonna come back by this way in a week or two. Remind me, let's get regular coffee filters, not the reusable. Reusable is probably better for home, but not in here. We're gonna need paper towels.
No. You got your water bottle?
People out on special tours just for
You may remember this place. A couple weeks ago I was here. I was doing 5 challenges of the Everglades. I wanted to find an alligator. I wanted to find a manatee. I wanted to make it to flamingo. I wanted a nature walk. And I wanted to take my bike for a ride. After looking at the map, I discovered I was close to Shark Valley. They had a cool bike path. I thought that's the place to go ride it. So I took my bike out, got there too late in the day to make it to the observation tower. My head said, you didn't finish the challenge. The last couple days, I was gonna make a video going through a couple bucket list places I always wanted to visit. Sanibel, Captiva, and it wasn't a bucket list item, but I was always interested in seeing Marco Island. So I went up, drove miles and miles and miles, and they suck. Don't go there. Not fun if you're in a van, if you don't like seeing the ocean, if you want to pay too much to see the ocean, it's traffic. Avoid at all costs. So no videos about Sanibel, no video about Captiva. Then I Googled, after I was all done there, I said, Google, is Marco Island as dumb as Captiva and Sanibel? And Google pretty much said, it's dumber. I went down, I did walk on the beach. I needed to at least accomplish 1 beach on the day. I left Marco Island. I scooted on over to Goodland, Florida, a tiny little village right near Marco Island. It's quieter, a couple nice waterfront restaurants. It is a drinking village with a fishing problem. That's a town for me. After dinner, I realized how close I was to the Everglades. Found a magnificent spot to sleep last night off Route 41 on a little side dirt road. Middle of the Everglades. This is the sunset last night. Absolutely gorgeous. And I realized when I woke up this morning that I'm close to Shark Valley. This is the redemption story.
That's it.
Coming up, we have the Shark Valley Observation Tower. Now we can cross off the bike ride. Just to answer two questions I did have. I was wondering why they called it Shark Valley. Turns out we are in a valley between Naples and Miami. And the reason why I'm having such a hard time breathing right now is we are a grand total of 6.5 feet above sea level. And Naples and Miami are 25 and 15 feet above sea level. So that's the reason for the valley. The reason for the shark in Shark Valley. Bull sharks can go between fresh and salt water. And they'll come in here to breed. This valley does in fact have sharks, even though we are miles from the closest ocean. Make all the jokes I want, but that's kind of cool. There's a chain across the stairs, so we cannot go to the top of the observation tower. Let's still check this out. Shark Valley's been defeated. Bike ride can be crossed off the challenge list. I got someplace I want to go to today that I think will be a lot of fun, but it's a bit of a ride. So I'm gonna get us back to the car and let's teleport. So I was going to teleport you. However, as I was leaving the area, a nice gentleman saw me with a camera out and goes, right over there, there's an alligator and a crocodile. I said, how do you tell the difference? He was telling me that the alligator has teeth only in the front, where the crocodile has the teeth all the way down. The crocodile has a very narrow snout, where the alligator has around its snout. Now, crossing off a bonus item from the Everglades. We have a crocodile. See you in a while. And we got the alligator. It's a big boy. Thanks, random guy on the side of the pathway next to Shark Valley Observation Tower. Now we got a crocodile. Now we got an alligator. And we crossed off the tower. Now we can complete the bike ride. Time to teleport back to the van. That was a good trip. Let's get some AC going. Might make it harder for you to hear me, but I don't really care. It's hot. Florida sun's cooking today. So, right here, I keep a map by my side most of the time while I'm traveling. I have done the Atlantic coast more times than I can count. I've done the Gulf Coast a couple times. I've gone across this way. I've gone across that way. I have always wondered, what is that gigantic lake in the middle of Florida? Lake Okeechobee. It is the 9th or 10th largest lake in the United States. It is the 3rd largest if you want to count lakes that don't require a passport to get across. It is a massive, massive lake, and I've always wondered what is at Okechobee. Now that the Everglades are done, let's go to where the Everglades begin, which is from Lake Okeechobee, and see what's there. Let's go check out Florida's Big O. Man, did I get lucky this morning. One thing that happens as you're traveling around is you completely lose track of what day it is. Today's Saturday. If there's anything you learn in this world is you don't go to a national park on a Saturday. I did. I forgot. Even Google last night when I was looking up Shark Valley said, get there early ahead of the crowds. There a couple weeks ago. There wasn't any crowds. I got lucky. I pulled in this morning. There was people there, but there was parking spots. I was just leaving. The line is going to the road. There's people parked on the street. I got lucky. It's kind of a long ride. It's about an hour and a half ride, a little bit over, from Shark Valley to Lewiston, Florida, which is the end of the lake where the dike that holds the water in is there. This one was built underground, creates a massive block to views of the lake. I can't go to a big lake and not see the views. Yes, there is a large walking and bike path, so I plugged the bike back in. Can't go to a 900 blah 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 or whatever square feet it is. Either way, it's a big lake, and I'm not going to a big lake and not looking at the big lake. So we're going to Lewiston. I had to grab some lunch when we get there, check out the dike, and then we're going to go see what the rest of this lake is all about. We're heading into no man's land in Florida. That's where I prefer to be, especially on a Saturday. No place is gonna be fun on a Saturday unless you're in no man's land. So I'll do the driving, you do the watching, and I'll see you when we get there. So looking off in the distance, I noticed a gigantic grayish black cloud. Turns out that we are in the Sugar Bowl of Florida, one of the largest sugar producing areas of the country. This place is sweet. Sorry, we'll be there in 20 minutes. Bought them for a friend. I got my energy drink. Time to start finding out what is here. It's the big O. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right. That's what I say. A lot of people say that. Let's go check out this lake.
At the light, turn right onto South Francisco Street.
We are still not quite catching the view of the lake that we'd hoped, but this is a picnic area and I'm hungry. It's time for lunch, except I don't have pickles, which is a really big heartbreaker. We gotta find a good view of that lake because I have a feeling it's gonna be really pretty. Let's eat real quick and then we gotta still find that view of this lake, and we're gonna find some cool little road stops along the way too. I'm gonna teach you how to make a proper lakeside sandwich. This is normally ideal for after you just went swimming. I don't think this is really a swimming lake. I don't see many signs saying beach along the way here. Probably because if they attracted tourists in for the beach, the alligators would eat the tourists. Now you follow these simple steps to make a lakeside turkey sandwich. You lay your bread out like so. You take the seal off the turkey. You open the turkey. You grab however many pieces feel right to you. You grab 4. You put 3 in the sandwich. You eat 1. Now, in their infinite wisdom, the turkey is a little bit bigger than the sandwich. So you fold 1 a little bit on this side. You fold 1 in a little bit on that side. And then you fold 1 in half. This ensures a proper turkey ratio in every bite. You grab your provolone. You grab 3 pieces. 2 go on the sandwich. And you eat 1 as a snack. You seal up your provolone. You seal up your turkey. And you put them back in your fridge. If I'm going a little fast on the directions for this sandwich, I apologize. You take your bread like so, spin it, fold underneath, and put back where it was. Now the ingredient that makes this a lakeside or poolside sandwich is Doritos. You place 1 Dorito here, place 1 Dorito like so. You eat a Dorito, and then you place 1 more in a way that you know that you have your sandwich covered. And then you place a piece of bread on top of the sandwich and push down until you hear a crunch. Then once you've heard the proper crunch on the sandwich, you take that sandwich like so. Delicious. I'm gonna enjoy this view for a few minutes on the water, eat my sandwich, still gotta go find that view. I've had Google find me 4 points where it says you can see the water. We can find better though. Stop feeding the birds, because you go to places like this and a couple little birds hang outside your door, which is fine. If you like birds, that's great. But then you get people like me. I'm not a bird guy. Growing up in Massachusetts near the coast, when I was about 6, 7 years old, I wanted to watch Jaws. So I asked my parents, can we watch Jaws? To which my mom says, I'd rather you did it because we go to the beach a lot and I don't want you to be afraid to go in the water, and Jaws will make you afraid to go in the water. We didn't watch Jaws, but she still wanted to appease me wanting to watch an animal horror film. In which case, we watched Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. At 7 years old, 30 plus years later, birds come around. I don't like it. I can't say it's a phobia, but I get uncomfortable. So I got 2 birds. Nope. I got 2 birds trying to get in here and eat my food because they're too used to eating people's foods. So stop feeding the birds, would you? Back to the view. And now this is the biggest hill in all of Florida. I hope my van can handle it. Oh. So picnic area in Lewiston, Florida, not too bad. So of Google's must visit spots on Lake Okeechobee, we just saw the picnic area. The next one is a little bit of a haul. Like I said, it's a big lake. So I'm gonna be doing a time warp to get us to there. Oh look, we're here. Roland Martin Marina and Resort. I am really interested to check out this Tiki Marina waterfront, they said online. It has to be if it's a marina, right? Let's go check this out. It's supposed to be the midpoint of my workday right now. They're getting snowed on. waterfront marina, I guess you call it. Looks like a puddle. The next spot that on the top 5 places you must stop around Lake Okeechobee. So we're gonna go to Port Mayaka. Sounds a lot more promising for a waterfront, majestic, panoramic view of Okeechobee. We got 42 miles to go, 52 minutes to get there. Let's go. What am I waiting for? You guys are holding me up.
Arrive at your destination.
When you have a lake that big, you know there's some place where you can see the whole thing. It's the size of a mini ocean. This thing is gigantic. One of the biggest bodies of water in the country. Easily the biggest one in Florida, by far. I'm building this all up to, we found it. Took a little while, but I knew we'd get there. This lake is gigantic. Big O. And driving here is even cooler. It's that taste of old Florida where when you go to the coast, it's overbuilt. It's grid after grid after grid of housing associations, condos, golf courses, Publix, Starbucks, and repeat. When you're coming up here, you see the old Florida, farming communities, not overly built. The real people, sweet, kind people I met along the way, nicest people in the world. Florida. This isn't the old Florida, this is the real Florida. What's on the coast, that's just fake. Because man, coming through here, this is a whole different Florida than I've ever experienced. This was God's country. This was stunning. It was free, it was open. And man, and now I got that behind me. I got a couple ideas of where I want to stop, heading back up around the coast to the north of this lake. Maybe if we find another outlook, we will, but there's a couple little must-stop places I found that I want to get there before they close. One more time. Stunning. Let's keep going. I got a choice to make between walking the rim or a little spot that's up ahead. I'm making an executive decision on this one because none of you are here to comment on it. So, Okechobee, Florida. J&S Fish Camp. This is cool. It's a little small little RV trailer camp park thing. I don't really know exactly if these are people that live here year round. This gives it that old, you're almost on the beach, old Florida vibe. I keep saying old Florida. I kept trying to word it the right way. This is old Florida. This one, that one's on my shelf. J&S Fish Camp. You're going around Lake Okeechobee. Want to know where should I go in that area? This is the spot. This place is cool. Gotta finish this up and we're gonna try to get that bike out. I promised, and I know that if I don't, I'm realizing that once I set a goal, even though it's my channel, there's only one person to keep me accountable, me. I have to go back and do it. We got a crocodile this morning, we got Shark Valley. If we don't do the bike ride, we'll be coming back. So we gotta get that next. I don't qualify.
Touch tunes has the music.
Gator Hole Fish Camp, Lake Okeechobee. Good spot. That was a great spot. Bright painted colors, not uppity, just people hanging out, having fun, listening to music. That's the spot. That place is cool. As I was leaving, I planned to go to the north shore of the lake to Okechobee, the town. Okechobee? I don't know. Okechobee, the town. But as I was leaving, talked to someone from the area that said the prettiest sunset you'll ever see in your life is back down the way that I was a little bit earlier. We're going back to the lake shore of where we were before, and we're gonna see the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. I'm excited. This is gonna be pretty. We're doing this all wrong. Let's try this one more way. We're on the shores of Lake Okeechobee. We got the prettiest sunset of my life coming up, but we got just enough time for our bike ride before we go. There's a bowl that goes around all of the lake. That's essentially a dam or the levee or the lock to keep it in from flooding towns south of the lake. The water goes into the Everglades, so when it gets flooded, the bowl keeps it safe. Much more technical explanation to it. That's the way I interpret it when I read it online. There's a big bowl that goes around it. This path that goes pretty much around around the top of the bowl. I don't know if it's continuous. I don't know about that part. Take the bike for a little ride, and then we're gonna come back here, watch the sunset. Then the video is gonna be over. I have to go to Daytona from here. I'm gonna go watch the big game. I can't say the other name, I think, on the interwebs. But I'm gonna go watch the big game up in Daytona with my family, and then we're heading west, out around the Gulf. Gonna finally go see some other states. The trip has truly begun. Voyage has begun. The journey has begun. Whatever you want to call it, it has started. I am so excited. Let's go take a bike ride. Let's watch the sunset. And we're gonna call it a day. The challenge today was to find a spot of a scenic view that had a scenic view of Lake Okeechobee. Okechobee. I don't know which it is still. Someone tell me down below. But the irony that I found a quick view earlier, and not only did I succeed in finding a spot to see a scenic view of this monstrous lake, which you never hear anything about because the coast of Florida is so popular, and there's this little treasure inland, a couple cool little towns that go around it. I found one of the coolest spots I've ever been in at the fish camp. And the ironic part of it all, today was the end of the Everglades. I crossed off the final couple goals I had left a little bit open. In my story, the Everglades ended right where they began, on the shores of Lake Okeechobee. I still don't know which one it is. I'm gonna ride the bike for a few more minutes, go back and watch the sunset. I'll take top 10 and be happy with it. And then we gotta find home for the night. I'm still supposed to be at work right now. Sometimes you find spots you wish you could sleep. Unfortunately, it closes at sunset, but this would be a spot. You didn't do anything? Thanks. Absolutely gorgeous. Lots of good stuff around this place. It's not the tourist center of Florida, but man, you come out here and there's just absolute beauty. Some great hole-in-the-wall spots to stop. This was one of the treasures of the trip. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you. Thank you. And if you could, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. It goes so far towards helping this channel grow. I hope to bring in more videos, more sunsets, more roads. And there's a whole lot of country on the way. I love you all. Thank you. Good night.